Hi, Mom. She's the first one on my live. Isn't that nice? Good morning. How is everyone? It's really cold here today. It looks really nice. Like the sun is shining. But Lord Almighty, it is not warm anymore. I'll tell you that. All right, so I'm going to hop right to it. Today we're going to do the interlaced running stitch. Ah, y'all are saying hi to each other in the little comments below. It's really cute. So first we're going to do a running stitch. That's the dashed line. That's all the way around here. So we've got these little dashes. I'm just trying to move it out of the comments so that you can see it. We've got all these little dashes in the middle of the lines, and we're going to do a running stitch on those. That's going to be 6 strands, and then we're going to weave in and out, and we're going to make this kind of curvy line around. And then when we get to right where we started from, back to the beginning, we're going to do it again, and it's going to go the other way, so it makes it look like there are little like bubbles on each one. That'll also be 6 strands. And then we're going to do a straight stitch from the woven wheel to the middle, and then another one from here to there. And we're only doing 2 straight stitches because then you don't have to slide your needle underneath each one and mess up the weaving stitches. So I thought I'd give you a little rundown of what we're going to do today before we actually do it. And then if you want to just crack on because you already know how to do it, then you can. So I'm just going to get started with the running stitch, and that's just going to be one tiny little stitch for each of these. Oh, thanks, Tash. Do you know what? I was talking to Hope the other day, and she was like, I was talking to Tosh about this. And I was like, Tosh, like hatchling makes Tosh? I thought it was like Tash, like T-A-S-H, like Natasha, like Tash. But I didn't say anything to her because I didn't want her to be like, I've been calling her the wrong name. So I'm starting mine with the loop. So I'm just putting the loop over because I'm going to use the leftover thread that I have. Oh, that's good. She said I go by both. All right, so you don't want these to be too small, but you don't want them to be too big either. So like I said, I did the loop on mine, so I have no knot there. It's not essential that you don't have a knot. You can just do your knot, do your 6 strands, and we're just going to do these little straight stitches in and out for each one of these. Let me tell you, the double fabric is not my friend with this sticky solvy on it. I think I'm going to complain the entire time. I really need to stop that. I've made this bed for myself, and now I will lie in it, right? Now, obviously, try to make these the same for each line, these little running stitches, the same. But if one's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit smaller, it's really not that big of a deal. So, but you really don't want it to be too small because we're going to be sliding our needle underneath each of these stitches. So if you make them too small, it's going to be difficult to do that and to see where you're going. I think Jamie T's on her coffee break again. Hi, George. Oh my goodness. I've got a hoop that I'm working on at the moment. It's for a secret project. but it's only one strand for the entire thing. And oh my Lord, like after working with one strand and a really, really, really thin needle, you go back to like a thicker needle. Ooh, Jamie T says it's actually her day off and she's still in bed. Oh, Jessie wouldn't let me. She said, come on, let's do my treat and my breakfast. Let's go. But after using just one skinny little needle and one thread for like most of the day yesterday, it feels so like bulky to go back to using 6. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so big. And the thread is so thick. Okay, I'm almost done. I thought about doing this beforehand, like prepping it so that you guys didn't see it, but like so I didn't have to do it on the camera. But really, it's not that difficult, but I think it's also beneficial for people to see how long it actually takes, because sometimes it's a little bit misleading when you're like, oh, just whip that up, you know, just do that thing. Secret project. Yes, Jamie's here. It is a secret project. I really hate it when people do that, when they're like, oh, I've got this secret project. Isn't it really annoying? But now I'm in that situation and I'm like, well, shit. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then when you get to the very end, I am going to do a knot and finish that there, because we don't want the weaving in and out of these to be like interfere with this part. So I'm going to do a knot here and get a new piece of thread. There they are. Now for the next part, you're going to use all 6 strands. You can take it straight from your skein, but make it extra long because we're going to go weaving in and around these, in and out. I'll show you the example again so you can have a look. But it's not going to be tight. You're going to actually leave a loop. So in between each of these running stitches, there's going to be a loop that goes this way and then a loop that goes down this way. And we're going to leave it loose like that on purpose. So you really don't want to start and stop your thread. So with the woven wagon wheel, if you start and stop, it's not that big of a deal. You just kind of pick up where you left off. But with this one, we want it to be one big long thread and we're going to wrap it twice. So we're going to go around here twice. So let me just put the example on here again, just so you can have a look and see what I'm talking about. So what we're doing is just take out these straight lines because we'll do those after. We're just doing this part. So we're going to go around and around. Yeah. Come up underneath one of these. And then after that, we're just going to slide our needle underneath, 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 and leave these loops. So the first time around, you're only going to have one go. Yeah. And then when you get to the beginning, you'll actually reverse. So you'll be going down first and up. And you're going to slide your needle underneath both of those. The first time you went around, you did this one. And then the next time we go around, we're going to go underneath both of those. So it's a little bit tricky, but I totally know that you can do it. So let's get a little bit extra long, so I can make sure that we go around there twice. Thank you. The scissors are from Warm Crochet. They actually sent them to me just to use in photos and stuff for me to tag them. And they're super, super sharp. Like not only is the tip super sharp, but the blades are super sharp. The only thing is that I wish they were a little bit thicker here, because grabbing them off the table sometimes isn't the easiest. Whereas like the Fiskars scissors, they have a bit more to the handles, if that makes sense. So let's do, it's getting cold, so I'm getting a runny nose. Let's do a little knot on the end. And then, like I said, we're going to come up just underneath one of these, not through it, but just underneath of it. We're going to tuck it in so that we can't see it. So we'll go like this. Where are you? Yeah, we're just tucking it in. Oh. Melanie says, I just got the talk about my scissors obsession. Ooh, girl. Naughty. I really do like the Fisker scissors. The warm crochet ones are really nice for photos and they're really, really beautiful. But if I had to get another pair, I haven't been able to see them here. Ooh, they're just here. I would 100% get these ones. Ooh! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I would totally get these ones again. They've got these grippy things here. You can really grip them. And this right here was really sharp, but actually I dropped them, so the tip is broken. If you see the tip. So they like catch every time that you open and close them. And it's really annoying. Okay. This is another one where you're going to have to turn your hoop round and round and round, and I cannot. So it's going to be a little not graceful. So hopefully you'll forgive me. Let's start over like this. Maybe I can get a couple more things out of it. All right, like I said, we're going to weave our needle in and out from underneath of these. So we're just going to go underneath this. Now remember, I made it super long so I could go round and round without having to cut a new length, okay? So we've just gone down from this one, so we're gonna go up on this one. Now, the thing you want to avoid is pulling it really tight like this. We do not want that, okay? So you wanna make sure that you get that loop. How big the loop is, that's up to you, but you do not want it to be tight. You want it to be loose like that. And then this is gonna give us the circles when we go around again, okay? So we've gone up this one, let's go down this one. And then obviously, if you make it a little too tight, you can always just make it a little bit looser as you go around. Like if you pull too tight just one time. Ooh, I got a thumbs up. That's exciting. Now this should work out so that when we go around the next time, we'll make the circles. Oh. I think this looks so cool. Ooh. You can see I've caught the sticky celery. Ooh, Ruth says my 18-month-old granddaughter is watching, sitting on my knee today. Oh, that's cute. Hello. Sarah says, looks fab. So unusual. yeah, I'm trying to pick some stitches that's not just do a satin stitch, do a satin stitch. Even though satin stitch is very useful and practice is necessary to make it, you know, make it look really good. Sometimes you just want to learn something else. Get her started early, Ruth. Yes, Veronica, do it. Listen to Veronica. And like I said, I'm sorry that this is so slow with the hoop. If you actually are not using a hoop, this would be way better because you're going around in a circle, not a hoop, the hoop stand, you know? Because you're going around in a circle, you can turn the hoop as you're going and it makes it, you know, a lot easier. I probably sound different to her as well, so she's probably like, who is that? I don't know her. I don't know her. She sounds weird. Okay. Now for this last one, let me just make it a little shorter. This last one here, we're gonna go underneath. Yeah? And we're gonna go around again. Except this time, you're gonna go around underneath both of them. So this here is where you might catch a problem because you really don't want to disturb these loops that we've just made because they're just woven underneath there. Just like these here are just woven on the top. These are also just woven on the top. So when we go under here, we're gonna try and go underneath both of these almost strings, both of these threads. So we're gonna go over this stitch here and also under this. And if you have to put your fingernail just on this to make it not move or get caught or anything like that, then go ahead and do that. So let me turn it, make it a little bit easier for myself. And again, we're not going into the fabric. We're only weaving through the loops, which is the running stitch. So there's the first one. Then we're going to do this again for all of them. Now, if you accidentally catch one, then that's okay. You can always wiggle it back into place. But it's easier if you don't. It's easier if you don't catch one. But it's not the end of the world if you do. So don't think, oh, I've just ruined it. Oh no, this is not good. Just go right up under there. If you have a blunt needle, definitely try that because you won't pierce any of the other threads. This is another one where I wish I could speed it up, you know? Do my like time lapse myself. Then after this, all we're doing is a straight stitch from here to there and there to there. That's it. So after this, it's pretty simple. You could also try and come like up here and then weave it underneath all of these. But that's a little bit risky for me, you know, because if you snag them, then you might really be upset with yourself. So I did 2 separate stitches, but if you feel comfortable doing it and like you think that you can, then I would do that, because it would be so much easier than having to do 2 separate stitches, you know? So it just depends like how you feel with putting your needle under there and if you think you can do it or not. We're trying to make it easier, you know, not more difficult. And the straight lines will be with 6 strands as well, so you can continue using this one, or you can get this bit of thread if you have any left, or you can get a new bit of thread. You can also do 3 strands as well, since we did 3 strands for the middle. But I just found that the 6 strands made it nice and like bulky, you know, made it nice and like thick, not bulky, but like a nice thick line. But this is what I mean, like you can always experiment with different numbers of strands of thread. So if you really are like, I'm going to try 1 strand and see how thin that is, or I'm going to try 4 strands and see what that looks like. They'll all have a different thickness and they'll all look different. Someone's banging about in their shed and I can hear it. Mary says, morning, dipping in while working from home today. Good morning. Did anyone do anything fun for the bank holiday yesterday? We had a friend come over who helped to do our, what's it called, patio back there. And 2 of the tiles, they like dipped down, dipped down really far. So he came and had a look at those, and then his girlfriend came as well. And we just ordered some pizzas and sat outside, and then we ended up having a fire because it was actually really nice, and I had a lot of cardboard boxes to burn. So we did that. But other than that, I just did work all day. So it wasn't really a bank holiday, was it? Melanie says, everyone's hoops are looking so good so far. And Noelcraft says, we had a mini anniversary party for my parents and my sister. Oh, that's so sweet. Now I'm back to the beginning. So I'm going to put my sharp needle in again. Obviously, you don't have to change. I just have to change because I've done this sticky solvy, which didn't actually solve any of my problems. It's just given me more problems. Okay, so to end it, we're going to slide our needle up underneath this one here and go through all the fabric. So we're really going to get it up underneath of there. Not in the same knot that we went through before. So be mindful of that because there is a knot there. But also, you don't want to pull any of the threads too tightly because they are all just woven. Okay? Now from here, this is what, I'll show you like a small example of what I mean. So from here, you can go like this. And then if you feel comfortable, you can slide your needle all the way underneath each of these here. Because we need to make these lines. Okay? And then you're going to tuck it up underneath your wheel. Okay, now that will give you 1 stitch for each one. If you don't feel comfortable doing that and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna mess this up for real, this is not a good idea, then you can always do 2 stitches. So you can do 1. I feel like I've got a lot of pockets underneath there. You can do 1 like this, and then 1 on this side. Like that. So whichever way you think is best for you, then that's fine. Yeah? It's probably more risk, sorry, to slide it under, just because, like I keep saying, they are all just woven. So if you mess them up, then it's just, you just gotta fiddle around with trying to I thought I just saw something fly down into all of my threads over there, and I was like, oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. This isn't happening. Last night, a really big moth came in when we were at the fire, and we had the window open. I didn't realize. My needle split the thread in some of my loops. Yeah, it does happen. Like, it is a little bit tricky. But I feel like you guys can do it. I feel like if you can do the woven wagon wheel, you can definitely do this. You just need to have a bit more patience than you normally would. Not like you, Melanie. I mean, like, than we normally would. Like, you know. Ugh, I hate this sticky selfie. I might have to start another hoop without it. Ooh, Wanda says, good morning, late to the party. How lovely this looks. Oh, I cannot wait to see it. I honestly cannot wait to see everyone's. Veronica said, we had a wren in the conservatory yesterday. Bit of a panic, but he found his way out. Aw. Are they quite big? So I've done all the outside. I still have to do the inside now, yeah? Now, I would always suggest kind of tilting your hoop like this and then putting your needle at an angle underneath this woven wagon wheel. We can always go back later and hide any of these gaps if you really don't like it. And the only reason that I suggest that is because you really don't want to try and come up underneath the stitch here every single time. Veronica says, no, he was small. Well, that's okay. Yeah, I much prefer like going up underneath the wagon wheel. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Like, not don't really like using the word guys. I don't know why. I do know why. When I was teaching, my advisor, she hated it. She hated the word guys. And so I always have to say boys and girls. Even to like 16 and 17-year-olds. I have to be like, all right, boys and girls. Always made me feel silly. But that's pretty much it for me. Like, we're just going to do just these straight stitches here. Make sure that you're not poking through any of these strands because you don't want to pull these, but then also you don't want to pull these. So the basket is a little bit delicate, and it is a bit of an advanced thing to start with, but I feel like if we get it out of the way the first week, then it's done, and all the rest of the flowers are just going to be so simple. Do you know what I mean? If this ruins my needle, I'm going to be so mad. I'll stop complaining about it. I promise. I promise. Ruth says, looks amazing. Thank you. I cannot wait to see everyone's. You have no idea. Like, it's the best part of doing these stitch-alongs. Like, there's good parts and bad parts, obviously, to all the things. But honestly, the best part of the stitch-along is seeing all the things that you guys make and seeing how proud you are of all of your little stitches and all the little things that you've learned and everything. Oh my gosh, my heart. It just makes me feel so good. Oh, Leah says it's 4:30 where I am, up because of a storm, but I can't wait to start these stitches in the daylight. Yes, make sure that there's good lighting. Please don't try and stitch in a storm. 4:30 a.m. Yes. My parents are in Ohio, and so my mom always comes to say hi in the morning. I'm sure she's like working out or something, so before she starts her school, because she's a teacher. It was David's first day of school today after his break. Ooh, this one's going to be tricky. Oh my gosh, no. No. What is happening? So if you work with your thread a lot, sometimes you'll find that this happens, and it's that the threads will come unthreaded. I'm only doing this beauty blogger thing because the camera will focus on it easier. But the threads will become unthreaded and become like 1, 1, 1, 1, and they'll each get different lengths to them. So if you kind of look, it's like split ends in your hair almost. So if you ever see this happening and you notice it's causing you a bit of grief, like it did just me, like it did for me just then, then just snip those off, just like you would get a haircut, you know, just to like trim things up at the ends and like make sure everything's nice and healthy. Because what's going to happen is that sometimes only just one of the strands will come out. It could be pulled out or whatever, but sometimes one of the strands will come out. And like you just saw, I almost had a big mess, like a big knot. So just keep an eye on the end of your strands as well. And you can totally tell like when it's going to happen. I'm going to finish this, I promise you. But like y'all already know how to do it, so you don't have to watch me like on the struggle bus here. Because I hate to break it to you, like all the things that happen to you also happen to me. Like I'm not perfect at all. So all of your knots on the back, like catching your headphones in or whatever, that's all happened. Stitching your shirt into, ooh, it'll go out. into your embroidery. Yep, that's happened. Stitching the fabric into it's happened. It's all happened. This is what the back looks like. I've got a little spiral situation happening, and I'm just gonna do 2 little knots on the back and then snip off the extra. And there we go. That's it for today. So we've got another long one. I'm really sorry about that. But by the Friday, the bag will be finished except for the handle. The handle we'll put on last because we're gonna do all of the flowers first, and then you can either do the handle and tack it up like this. Yeah. Or you can do the handle and tack it down like this on top of what you've got. But I feel like you need to have this part done so that you know where you want to put your handle. So the handle will be the very last thing we do before we close up the back. But by Friday, you'll know exactly how to do all of this hoop. So then you have the weekend if you fall behind or if you don't like part of it and you want to cut it out and do it over again. That's all up to you. So yeah, that's it. Oh, Noel Croft has just said, what stand do you have? So I don't have a, I'll take it out of here. I don't have a brand name on here. I got it from a charity shop for £5. But it's just a regular lap stand. And then I put a brick on it so that it won't move when I'm doing the tutorials, because you're meant to put this underneath your leg. So if you pretend this is like my thigh, then you can put this under your leg in the thigh like this. And then this right here, you can move around. And then this right here, it goes up and down. So if you need it higher or lower, just to make sure that like your arm is comfortable. And then obviously this part here goes back and forth. And then this part right here tightens to turn it if you need to flip it around. I don't imagine they would be that difficult to make, but I also know that if you go to cloud.craft, they sell hoop stands. And I know that Hawthorne Handmade also sells hoop stands. Hobbycraft has them sometimes, but I haven't seen these ones in a long time. I've only seen the ones with the 2 legs like this that go on the floor with a really long arm, and they like tuck up underneath your like sofa or something like that. So this is what it is. The sticker says helpline, but it's not for this. Charity shop find, you know? So there you go. All right. That's all for me. I'm not going to keep you because it's already been way too long. And yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and tag. Oh, Kat says I have the Hawthorne one. It's super similar to that one. It's great. This one might be from there. I don't know. I just know I went to like a little haberdashery shop, like charity shop thing. And they were like, I said, do you have a hoop stand by chance? And he's like, yeah, I've got like 4, but 3 of them were missing parts. And so I just took this one. So don't forget to go to the Barmy Fox SAL. Make sure that you're liking and commenting on other people's hoops. Give them a bit of encouragement. You can also post your photos in the Barmy Foxes Facebook group if you want to do that. That's totally fine as well. And yeah, make sure you're tagging me in your stories and on your good posts so I can repost them. So enjoy your Tuesday, and I cannot wait to see how you do with this one. It's the threaded running stitch. No, interlaced running stitch. And yeah, I'll talk with you tomorrow. Okay? Bye.